class. Today we are going to learn about Python, your journey from basics to advanced. So, what is Python? Python is a programming language. There are two types of programming languages. One is high-level programming language, another is low-level programming language. Languages which are easy for us to understand and write are called as high-level programming language. And languages which are easy for machine to understand are called as low-level programming language. So Python, Java, C, C++, all are high-level programming languages. Also, Python is an interpreter-based language. Now, what do you mean by interpreter-based language? So, in interpreter-based language, there is something called as interpreter. What this interpreter is doing? So, it reads code line by line and executes them line by line. While there is one more type that is called as compilation-based or a compiler-based language. In that, what compiler is doing? Compiler is some kind of a tool which reads your entire code, converts it into machine level language and then executes it. Now, why to choose Python over other languages? So first is Python is very easy to learn and understand as well. If you know English, you can definitely learn Python very easily. It's as simple as that. Also, Python is a base for a lot of advanced applications like artificial intelligence. And Python have a wide range of tools and libraries. You don't have to code anything from scratch. For each and every function, you have libraries. Also, now we will see applications of Python. So, as I already said, Python is base for advanced applications like artificial intelligence, machine learning, automation, data science, data analysis, data visualization. Even it is used in web applications as well. Now, we will do our setup and installations for Python. Just go to the Google. Right here, download Python for Windows. If you have other systems like Linux or Mac, write accordingly. Click on the first link that appears. Click here, download Python 3.12.1. As soon as you will click here, your download will begin. Once you download Python successfully, now you will see here .exe files. Okay, this is your application file. You will just have to double click on this. Once you double click on this, in your machine, if Python is not already installed, you will see here one checkbox, add to path. You will just have to click on that and then you have to click on install now. Don't click on custom settings, okay? You don't have to click on a custom settings, you just have to click on install now. Once your installation is done, now we will install pip. Now what is pip? So pip is Python's best friend. Whenever Python requires any kind of library or resources, pip is the one which brings it or which helps to install it with Python. So we will install pip now. Just open another tab and write download pip for Windows. Okay, click on this link, okay, this one. Now, if you have Linux or Mac, click accordingly. I have Windows, so I will click on Windows. As soon as you desktop, save it on a 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 desktop with this name. get-pip.py. So let me tell you, all the Python file will have extension as a .py file. This getpip is Python file, that's why it has extension as .py. So you just have to click on save, okay? Now we have downloaded our pip as well. Now we will install it. So it was on a desktop. I have created one folder here. I have pip inside this folder. So what I'll do, I'll just click here on this path. Then I'll write cmd to open terminal. Now just write python space get dash pip dot py and click on enter. As soon as you will click on enter, the download will begin, installation will begin. Okay. Once your pip is installed successfully, you will get here one message that pip installed successfully. Now, as we have installed Python and our installation of pip is also done, we will install Notebook. For each and every language, we use one or another software to write our code. So for Python, we are going to use Notebook, that is a Jupyter Notebook. You can definitely use other softwares like Visual Code Studio or Anaconda or anything, whichever you prefer. Today I am going to run all the code in Jupyter Notebook. So to install Jupyter Notebook or to install any library, you will just have to write pip install notebook or your library name. Okay, you just have to click on enter. As soon as you will click on enter, installation will begin. It will take few time, like say 2 to 3 minutes to installation get complete. As soon as your installation gets complete, just write python space -m space notebook. It will launch our Jupyter Notebook where we will write our complete code, or we will start coding with this. So the first page which appears after launching the Jupyter Notebook is this. Now here you'll have to just click on new, click on notebook. Your fresh notebook will appear here. Yes. So this is our Jupyter Notebook interface. From here you can save file, you can add new cells, you can cut any cell, you can copy any cell, paste it. To run any cell, you will just have to click on this button. There is one more shortcut that I will tell you in some time. To stop, you can just click on this. To restart, you can just click on this. Okay, these are all features of Jupyter Notebook. Now we will start with our Python concepts and syntax. Okay, so what is syntax? First of all, syntax is a way or a method to write in any language. Okay, each and every language have its own syntax. Just similar to each and every language have its own method. The way you are writing in Hindi, you cannot write in English, right? The same way, the method or the way you follow in Python, you cannot follow for another language. Each and every languages have different set of syntax. So now we will know about Python, how we write in Python, and what are the variables we are using. Defining variables. So what is variable? Variable is a container which stores one or more values. Now what do you mean by stores one or more values? So variable is some sort of character or a container in which you can hold any value. You can put any value. I'll show you one example. Okay. Say we are going to learn about variables, so I'll give heading as variables. Now here I am writing x is equals to 5. Okay, so what is x and 5 here? X is a variable, 5 is a value. X is a variable which holds value as 5. Okay, so this is called as variable. To define any variable, we'll just have to follow this syntax. That is variable name and assign some value. This is syntax to define any variable. Now there are multiple type of variables, that is we call as a data types. Okay, for each and every languages we have data types. If you know data type very well, you can code very well. So how many type of data types we have? Let's see. So yes, we have 6 type of data types here for us. To start with, first is numeric data type. In numeric data type, you can store integers, floats, decimal values, complex numbers, anything. The data type which is a character or a word or a text, that is called as a string type of data. Now we have Boolean type of data as well. What do you mean by Boolean? So it's more of true or false. One variable can have value as either true or either false. There is no other value can be assigned to a Boolean variable. We have sequence as well. So in sequence we have list and tuples. List, as it is a kind of self-explanatory, it holds a collection of values. It can store integer, string, boolean, everything at a one time only. Tuple is also same, but there is a difference in tuple and list. Is list we can change, we can add element, we can delete element, we can edit any kind of element. In tuple, once it is defined, it is defined. We cannot change or modify its value. Okay, we have one more type, that is mapping. In mapping we have dictionaries. So in dictionary we have key and value pair. There is one key and it has some value. It's more sort of variable and value. So there are a lot of variable and values are stored inside a dictionary and it is assigned to one another variable. I will explain you all these things with examples. And we have sets as well. So in set, it is same as list, but the difference with set is it is storing only unique values. So even if you have write multiple or duplicate values in that list, it will give you only unique values present in that set. Now we will see example of this each and every data type. So first is numeric. Okay, so in numeric first we have integer, the second we have is float. Okay, now you will be wondering what exactly I am doing here or how I am running this cell. So let me introduce you. Code means it will execute this code. Markdown, we are using it for writing headings or everything. Okay, so I am just creating here headings for your understanding. Okay, and to run this cell I am pressing shift and enter together. Okay, so first we will see example of float, integer. So I'll just write x is equals to say 3. So this is example of integer variable, and say y is equals to 3.5. So it is a float. So if I want to refer this afterwards or I want to understand this afterwards, I will use comments as well. So I'll just write hashtag and I'll just specify its data type as integer. Here I will specify its data type as float. So now if I want to know what is the value of x, then I'll just write x and it will give me value as 3. If I want to know what is the value of y, so I'll just write y and it will give me value of y. This was all about integers and floats. That is a numeric data type. Now we will see text data type, that is a string. So whenever I want to store any kind of text, any kind of say name or anything, so I will write it under a string data type. How I will define string data type? It's same. Just say I want to store some sort of fruit name. Okay, I just want to store banana. Okay, so I will write it under a single quote or a double quote. This is specifying that your value is a string type. Whatever you are writing inside this single quotes or a double quotes we can use. So whatever value things you are writing inside this, it will be treated as string. Here if you write 5, then also it will be treated as a string because it's in a double quotes. If you don't write it in double quotes, if you are writing like this, then it will be treated as a number. Here it will treat it as a string. Okay. Now we will see Boolean data type. So for Boolean, I am just initializing variable named as b and I am assigning it value as a true. Okay, so here I have assigned value as true. I can assign even as a false as well. Then it will be treated as boolean value or a boolean variable, which can only either have value true or false, nothing else. Now we will see sequence. So in sequence we have list and tuples. Second is tuple. Okay, so how we can define list? So I'll just define one variable called as L. Then in this square brackets I will write some, say, apple. Then I'm writing 2. Then I'm writing, say, banana. Then I am also writing 3.5. So it can store all type of values. There is no necessary that it will store only strings or only integers, only floats. No, it can store collection of all this. This is called as a list. And say if I want to define a tuple, so I'll just create one another variable and I will just write same thing or a different thing in this, say mango, say 4, say 9. So this will be treated as a tuple. Say if I want to know what is the type of these variables, how I can see? It's very easy. I'll just have to write type of, say I want to know what is the type of variable t. Then I'll just write it like this and it will give me it is a type of tuple. If I write type of variable L, then it will give me as a list. Now we know what is list, what is tuple. We will see dictionaries, that is mapping data type. So how we define dictionaries? So we will initialize one variable in curly brackets. It will be stored in a key value pair. Okay, so I am writing here integer int and I am assigning some value as 5. Then I am creating another variable by name float and I am assigning another value, say as 5.5. Then also I want to store some string, so I am writing string and I am assigning some values as, say, mango. So this is my dictionary. If I'll check its data type, then it will give me as a dictionary. This is how you define. Here this int, float and string will be treated as keys and 5, 5.5 and mango will be treated as values. This is a collection of key and values pair. Now we will see sets. Okay, so how we define set is very easy. It's just you have to initialize one variable, write set before it. Set is a keyword or a function that we are using to tell our machine that you have to treat this thing as a set. Okay, and inside this, if I am passing some values, say I am writing banana, again I am writing banana. Now I will be writing 5, again I will write 5, again I will write 6, I will write 3, I will again write 5. Okay, now I will run this. So when I will print s, it will give me only unique values. I have written banana 2 times, 5 2 times, sorry 3 times, still it is giving me only 1 time. That means our set gives only unique values. So whenever you want to find, as per requirement, whenever you want to find how many unique values are there, you can use sets. These are all our variables. Now we will see, or we will write our first code, hello world code. Okay, it is necessary to write hello world code whenever we enter in new language. Our first code will be hello world. So how we can write? We'll just write one print statement. Print is a method to print anything. whatever values you are seeing here, it will print similarly. So here as a string, in a string format, I will just write hello world, and I will just press on enter, shift and enter. So it will print here this value, hello world. We have successfully understood whatever the concepts of Python are there, what is Python, why to choose Python, what are the applications of Python, what is variable, what is data type, how many data types are there, and now we have successfully run our first program, that is hello world program. So congratulations, you have completed the first step. Our basics are covered. For advanced applications, we will see you in another class. Thank you.